Hello everybody, welcome back to my YouTube channel Programs Made Simple. So in today's video, we are going to study the program WAP to input a number and check if it's a happy number or not using while loop. So firstly, we should know what is a happy number, and for that we are going to take an example, number 82. Firstly, we are going to separate the digits, then we are going to take out its square, and then we are going to add them. So we are going to continuously add the number of digits until we get a one digit number. So the square of 8 is 64 plus the square of 2 is 4. So we get 68. Now yet we have not got a single digit number, so we are going to add its digits further. So square of 6 plus square of 8. The number is 36 plus 64. So it is 100. Now again we have not got a one digit number, so we are again going to add its digits. So the square of 1 is 1, 0 is 0, 0 is 0. So 1 plus 0 is equal to 1. Now if in the end, when we have obtained a one digit number, if it is equal to 1, we can say that the number entered is a happy number. But if the number is not 1, then we would have said that the number entered is not a happy number. So now we are going to do the program. You can take any class name, for example ABC. In void main, you have to write integer n as a question is asking the user to input a number. Now integer d and s. Over here we have taken a variable d to count, or you can say to extract the last digits of the number, and an integer s to take out the sum, okay, to store the value of sum in this particular integer, while n is greater than 9. This means that this while loop will continue running if the number n is greater than 9. That means it is more than a single digit number. Now s is equal to 0. So over here the value of s is initially 0. Now while n should not be equal to 0. This means that this while loop will stop running as soon as the value of n reaches 0. So now d is equal to n modulus 10. So suppose n is 68. So 68 modulus 10, we get the number 8. Now what we are going to do is we are going to count the sum s is equal to s plus d into d. That means s plus square of the number. So s is 0 over here, and the number is d 8. Square of 8, it is equal to 0 plus 64, which is 64. Now we are going to remove the last digit. N is equal to n divided by 10. You might be already knowing that the sign of a modulus gives us the remainder, whereas the sign of a divisor gives us the quotient. So over here we have the sign of a divisor, so we are now going to get the quotient. So it will be 68 divided by 10, 6. Okay, 10 6 are 60 and the remainder will be 8. So the quotient will be 6. Now the value of n is 6. D is equal to n modulus 10. So 6, which is n modulus 10, we are going to get the remainder 6. Then s is equal to s plus d into d. So s was 64 plus d into d, square of 6. So 64 plus 36 is equal to 100. Now what we are going to do is n is equal to n divided by 10. So n is equal to, n was number 6, divided by 10, we get the quotient 0. So now in this while loop, we have now got the value that n is equal to 0. So we are going to stop this program. So the final value of s is 100 over here. Now n is equal to s, that means the value of n, now we will take it to s. So n is equal to 100 now. This means that the final value of n after this particular while loop is 100. It is not the number entered, which was 68 as in this case. Okay. Now coming back over here, as the value is still greater than 9. Now s is equal to 0. Just for this reason that we want to take the sum again 0, we have not initialized it in the starting. Okay, so we want to change the value of s again. That's why we have put it in this particular while loop. Now while n should not be equal to 0. Now over here the value of n is 100. So 100, d is equal to n divided by 10. So 100 modulus 10, it will give us the remainder 0. S is equal to 0 plus d into d. So 0 plus 0 ka square. That means 0 plus 0, it is equal to 0. Now n is equal to n divided by 10. So n was 100 divided by 10. We get the quotient 10. Okay, 10 tens are 100. Now again coming back to this step, the number is now 10 divided by 10. We get the remainder 0. So again s is equal to s plus d ka square. So s is 0, d is 0. It will be again equal to 0. So now again coming back to the step, n is equal to n divided by 10. So n was 10 divided by 10. We get the quotient 1. Still the value of n is not 0, so we can continue this while loop. So d n is equal to 1 modulus 10 is equal to, we are going to get the remainder 1. So the value of s was 0. 0 plus the square of 1. It is 0 plus 1, 1. Now n is equal to n divided by 10. N is now 1 divided by 10. We get the quotient 0. Now the final value of s is 1. As we are going to stop the program over here, as the value of n is now 0. So now the final value of n is equal to s, which is equal to 1. So now we are going to check if the final value of n is 1. We can say that the number entered is a happy number. Otherwise the number entered is not a happy number.